Hey guys, I'm about to watch the WrestleMania 41 Night 2 highlights. The hour thing. So, I walked from New World to the game. Saints versus Giants. That was a good game. And then walked back, so hopefully I don't get a ticket, but, because it's 4 10-minute quarters. So I thought, okay, yeah, tips off at 3 o'clock. Park my car at 2:45, but then there's the breaks in between. But there was a number of I didn't realise how long the breaks were in between. I thought they would be like 1 minute or something, but they're more like 10 minutes. So by the time I got back to my car park, it was supposed to be 1.5 hours only, but I was there for 2.5 hours. So I hadn't got a ticket on my car, but it is patrolled by cameras. But hopefully nothing happens. Sometimes God or the universe or whatever gives you little gifts like that you think, oh man, I'm going to have to pay the $65 fine, and then you don't. Sometimes these little things along the way actually happen because you're in the right path. You're on the right path. The only reason why I want a ton of money is because it's to better my life, and they say you shouldn't care what people think, but bottom line is if you keep hearing it throughout your whole entire life, it will take a toll on you eventually if the whole society says it, right? But I'm a lot better now because I graduated high school. I got my degree in Māori Studies, National Certificate in Youth Studies, my certificate in Scrum Mastery. Yeah. Full driver's license, forklift license. We've got all these things. Physically fit and healthy. Not as fit as I used to be because I went through a phase where I didn't really care about how much I was earning. I was just trying to prove I was a good worker and all this type of thing. So I done that for about 8 years. Then after that, I was like, well, I get paid the same amount being a security guard. May as well just do that. I went into burnout, I think, because I thought that people were being themselves, and in each situation they were being themselves. And then I went into this studying about the whole masking thing, and now my theory is like, I know who I am. I have always known who I was at that time. But if you adapt to a certain situation because of the situation you're in, but you still know who you are, you're just like certain situations brings out different aspects of yourself. And then the neurodivergent community will say, oh, that's masking. Like, you're not showing every single thing in every single situation. But it's like, well, sometimes it's smart not to, like quite often, because you have a lot more enemies than you do friends in this world. So be yourself. But you also have to be smart. And that's how I view masking now. But when I go to their autism and ADHD groups, I'm pretty much like this. I'd have to be a bit more thoughtful if I was earning a lot more money, though. Because some people have internalized ableism. They don't want to do what they got to do to overcome the odds and learn how to play the game with neurotypicals and get ahead in life. They think that the best they can do is this certain spot and you're doing it. So, like, their goal is to beat you. Vogel's Cafe style, just like peanut butter, almond, cocoa. I get 2 of those types of mueslis a week. Anyway, I'm going over this stuff, and I choose not to. Because And people are dealing with things that I have dealt with my whole entire life, and they're over a decade younger. It's easy to see where they're coming from, but I never used to do anything, but I used to feel that way. But I wouldn't let my feelings dictate how I acted. And then if they were like in a supervisor position and I ended up getting a minimum pay rate job, then my jealousy would go away because my needs are being met because I had a minimum pay rate job. But for those who are unemployed and you've got employment and you're not even at like ground level, you're a supervisor, so you got a bit more. It's easy to see how those unemployed people would really be jealous. But at the same time, it's like that's natural. That's the natural, especially if they're in the situation. I graduated high school, got a degree in this, got a national certificate in that, and they're in the position I'm in, and a lot of autistic people are. Is that like 80% of autistic people are unemployed, and so like 65%. It fluctuates between 75 and 85 with autistic people. It fluctuates between 65 and 75 with ADHD people, and a lot of them have national certificates. A lot of them have a degree. I got a national certificate in Scrum Mastery, national certificate in Youth Studies, because level 1, 2, 3, 4. Level 3 means that's the last year of high school, right? So imagine that, and then you go up and up, and then you get to like level 7 is bachelor's degree. That's what I got, Māori. And then there's level 4, which is what I got with the National Youth Studies. And I think I forgot which level I got for Scrum Mastery. It was only like a 2-day thing. Anyway, I know not all autistic people and all ADHD people are my friends, and I know that some of my enemies are autistic or ADHD or both. I know that some of my enemies are neurotypical. I know that some people who got my back are neurotypical too. It's just, I believe that what pushes autistic and ADHD people to the brink is the same things that pushed me to the brink, but luckily I got some breakthroughs. And there is levels to this, level 1, 2, 3. And if you've been through things, that's what they're going through. You can relate to them, I got my Coke Zero up on the bench, and I've run out of meat, so I'm a vegetarian for tonight and tomorrow, and only because I have a habit, positive way of doing things. Because when I had a full-time job, I was always getting paid on Wednesday. So for that mentality thing, I always get my groceries on Wednesday even when I'm unemployed. It's acting as if you have a job, because Wednesday you get the groceries, right? Or a day, it's either Wednesday or another day, because we didn't know when we would get 2 days off that week. But one thing's for certain, you might only get one. One thing's for certain is you get paid on Wednesday, right? Well, it's not the same with the benefit, but it is with, I haven't even been receiving the benefit. I've been living off my own thing. The benefit will be within the next week or so, unless things have changed. But living off my own leave. But the thing is this: you do little things like you get your groceries on the day that people get paid for their working full-time job. These are little things you can do to subconsciously train your mind into acting as if you have full-time employment. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been for my walk, obviously, for today. I used to work a lot more. I used to do the whole 12-hour shift, 60 hours a week, and work out or go do pro wrestling or martial arts, whatever it was, within that 8-year period. So obviously I'm not as active as that now, but I can go do that walking, and I'm going to go have a gym workout session after watching the WrestleMania highlights. And this did not go as recording, but I will leave it up here because it came out. And I'm going to play for some jobs too, online. See you all.